guys, here's how I made this cute little wallet pouch. Right here I'm just adding the clip, totally optional. I made just like a little bias tape, adding it in the seam allowance. And I'm just going to clip off the excess. Now I have my squares. They're 5 by 7. I have 2 outer, 2 inner, and they're just muslin. Then I have the zip tab, and I'm just going to sew that down. You want to make sure you trim it to the size of your zipper. And here I'm just going to assemble my pouch sandwich. I'm going to go zipper down. Try to line it up so that there's at least a 1/4 inch seam allowance, because you don't want to sew over your zipper tab. I'm going to go muslin, and then I'm just going to sew a 1/4 inch all the way down. I usually like to stop and open it halfway through. I don't like opening it while I'm sewing. I feel like it looks messy afterwards. So here I am just opening it and then going back down.
Yeah. What, honey?
Now I'm just going to top stitch, making sure not to top stitch the muslin lining. It gives it a cleaner look, and I try to get it as close to the zipper as possible. So I'm probably doing like 1/8 inch seam allowance. Now I'm going to attach my other side to my pouch sandwich, making sure that the top of my fabric is facing the zipper. And then I put my muslin cloth piece. I'm just going to sew it down all the way. It's also hard to see here, but when you get down to the end, you try to pull the tab out into the seam allowance. It kind of gives it a cleaner look when you open it. I will show you in 1 second. You will see what I'm talking about, hopefully. I think I open it up. Yeah, I do. Now I'm just gonna top stitch. My daughter's coming in, so I'll probably cut that part out, so I might be missing stuff. Sorry.
Okay, go show me.
Right here I'm going to show you it all zipped up. Usually the muslin is a little soft and it tends to move a lot, so I like to just trim the excess off. And it's okay because you kind of want the lining to be a little bit smaller than your pouch anyways, that way it sits nice and perfectly on the inside. And now I'm just gonna match the sides together, and I like to do a little kind of like a basting stitch where it sits the teeth towards the lining, and so forth. I do it on both sides just so it doesn't move while I'm sewing all the way around.
What? She's taking your shirt?
Alright, now I'm going to work my way all the way around using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You could do whatever seam allowance you like, and just work your way all the way around, making sure to keep it even and aligned. You can pin it if you'd like. I hate pinning, so I don't.
What? You had it yesterday.
Make sure you don't go all the way around. You want to leave a little bit of a space. I did maybe about 3 inches to turn my pouch inside out, and then you're just going to clip your corners, and I like to trim off the excess just to make it a little crisper and it just sits a little bit nicer. Now I'm just going to turn my pouch inside out. And before I sew that opening closed, I'm going to take a pokey tool and just poke those corners out. It's really hard to get to when you sew the bag closed, so I like to do it before. It does make a big difference. Here I am just sewing the bag closed. I like to go all the way from the top to the bottom instead of just a little spot because I think it looks nicer and cleaner. Now I'm just going to trim my threads and then it's all done. All you have to do is just give it a little iron and fit it all in, and there you go, all done.